like whatever you want. Like introduction also, like you both can cover it, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Hope I'm audible. Right.
Yes, Muddu,
Yes,
you are
yes, you
audible.
are.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for joining this session. Thank you for joining in this your in your business day. Before starting the session, I would like to quickly show you the chapter, Visakhapatnam chapter. If you're not already joined this chapter, you can join this. There are like many more insightful sessions that are going to come in future. And to start with, so you can see there, today is September 11th, and that will be our first session. And then tomorrow we'll have integration services session with UiPath Studio Web. And then next week we have UiPath apps as well. And then so there are more upcoming ones with use cases. Like you can join those use cases as well. And then there are like some interesting gifts also. Uh, so yeah, that's pretty much about Visakhapatnam chapter. I can start with our session. Okay. So, in this session, we're going to start with essentials of UiPath Studio Web, where we'll cover about what is UiPath Studio Web, who exactly needs UiPath Studio Web, and where does it fall in that Studio family, and then how do we automate applications using Studio Web? What are the useful features that we have, and then what do we have with Autopilot? So we have you might have already aware of Copilot from Microsoft. So there is something very much more interesting with UiPath called Autopilot. So how do we interact with from Studio Web with Autopilot? How do we generate automatic code using Autopilot? So all these we're going to cover, and this will be a 2 day session. Today we're going to cover introductions to Studio Web, like basics of Studio Web, and a quick view how it looks, and then what are the basic features available, how do you declare a variable, all such things. And then tomorrow we're going and followed by a use case today, and then there will be much more interesting two use cases tomorrow. So you can go to next slide, Lakshman. You can quickly introduce yourself, Lakshman.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for joining the call. Before starting the session, let me introduce myself. Today, me and Muddu is acting as speakers for the session. I have 7+ experience into the RPA UiPath, overall 9 years in IT industry. I'm currently working as a technology lead in Broadridge Financial Solutions. I'm UiPath MVP for 2022, 23, and 24, and also got 14 community awards from the UiPath forum as an active member in the forum. And also, I have completed the UIRD and Solution Architect certifications from the UiPath. Yeah, that's all. Muddu, can
Thank you, Lakshman.
you?
Yeah. So myself, I'm Mudhu Krishna, and I'm 2 times UiPath MVP. And then I have an experience of 6 years, and currently I'm associated with L&T Technology Services as a RPA tech lead. Then before that, I've started my career as a intern in Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO). Then last year we had a hackathon called AI at Work, and then there our solution got runner-up prize. That's about myself. So let's start with today's agenda. So firstly, we'll start with Studio Family, like where UiPath Studio Web falls into. Like we have multiple development GUI interfaces from UiPath, like UiPath Desktop, and then now we have UiPath Studio Web, and then in this we have Studio X as well for citizen developers. So where exactly Studio Web falls in that family? So we're going to start with that, and then a quick introduction for UiPath Studio Web, and then why do we need Studio Web, and then what are the main differences between Studio Web, and then what can you do in Studio Web, and then what we cannot do in desktop, and then those the differences between those two tools, and then a quick demo, and at the end we'll have a Q&A session. So this is the UiPath Studio family. So if you can see, before we had UiPath Studio and Studio X. UiPath Studio is like a powerful tool where we can automate very complex solutions. And then we have Studio X, where we can it will be a lighter version of UiPath Studio, where if you don't have much of coding experience but you still want to automate, so just like business professionals, where they don't know how to write if condition or for loop. They don't know how to write a VB expression. So lighter version of UiPath Studio will be Studio X, where they can develop mostly attended automations. And there we have UiPath Studio Web. So main differences, I mean, where why do we, I mean, why do we have UiPath Studio Web? So in Studio X and UiPath Studio, we cannot automate in flow. We have to install Studio, or we have to maintain that development machine where you have this UiPath Studio platform, and then only there you can develop all your solutions. But with UiPath Studio Web, you can generate your workflows in Go, and you can just open Chrome. You can go to UiPath Studio Web in online, and then you can automate your tasks. It can be simple to a little bit complex. And so this also, it doesn't mean like since it is web, there are like you cannot do much things. You can just do simple automations, like how we have a competitor, so where we had they also have a similar tool called I mean, an online platform to automate. So it is a little bit more powerful than our competitors. So here we can already integrate your solutions with many tools like SAP, ServiceNow, or Workday, many more things with your Apache Studio Web. And then this is mainly a cross-platform. It will support cross-platform. Like you don't have to. It doesn't. I mean, you can open Chrome in Linux, and there you can also automate. So there is no need of OS version. I mean, there is no dependency for OS version. And then we also have advanced debugging and troubleshooting tools. So we'll see that in demo. We'll have a data manager in the right side, and then there you can manage all your variables, augments, and there is a specific debugging feature, just like how we have for your Path Studio. You can have a breakpoint, and then you can uh, deal with the variables in between, and then all these features we have with your Path Studio Web. Yeah, that's Lakshman.
Yeah, I can start here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, first coming to the introduction to the Studio Web. As Muddu mentioned, it is a web-based tool, Studio Web. There is no need to install any application in our system to use it. So it is just we can launch it from the UiPath orchestrator. There is an option called Studio Web. From there we can launch. We can create the process online, everything. There is no need to install any application in our systems. And there are many integration services are available. We can easily integrate, plug and play. We can pass the data from different applications and everything. I will show you the interface and each and everything I will explain in the next sessions. Why we have already Studio and Studio X is there. What is the use of Studio Web? First major advantage of Studio Web is we can easily start it. There is no need to install any application in our system. And second one is cross platform. By this tool is mainly designed to automate it for the multiple operating systems. You can, whether it is a Windows operating system, Linux, Mac, anywhere we can use these things. There are many integration services are available in the UiPath. We can easily integrate those services in the Studio Web, and it's compatible with Studio and Studio X. Whatever we have created using Studio Web, the flows, everything we can easily open in the Studio and Studio X. It will automatically install all the required dependencies and everything. We no need to install it manually. Coming to the next one is schedule based external events. By this is one of the most advantage of using the Studio Web. By using this we can create any schedules. Let's say if we receive any particular email, we can trigger the process. If we are adding any file into the particular OneDrive or SharePoint, we can trigger the process. So we can even easily create the schedule based automations here. And also by using Studio Web we can automate UA automations also, and live streaming option also available. While running the bot we can see it, how the bot is performing all the steps and all, everything we can see it in those things. Next one is IT automation enabler. By using as I mentioned earlier, in Studio Web there are so many integration services are available, by using which we can easily integrate with Microsoft Azure, Google platform and everything. We can create IT automations also easily. And we can by using this easy to deploy document understanding scenarios also. There is no need to in studio we need to do a lot of framework we need to follow, indicating the particular fields from any invoice documents and all. But in the studio web you don't need to do all those things. Just we have some document manager and all available. If we give some document, it will read all the required fields from the documents. Coming to the next one, studio web and desktop. Here let me explain the difference between studio web and desktop. Studio web will be hosted on the UiPath secure cloud. As I mentioned, we can directly access from the cloud orchestrator, the studio web. Whereas studio desktop, it should be installed, .msi or .exe file should be installed in our system, then only we can access the studio desktop application. Studio web is accessed from the web browser, whereas studio desktop will be windows it should be installed in our system. From there we need to open that application. And studio web is a cloud based tool, so we can easily instant scalability and all everything we can do it. Studio desktop application will be dependent on the mission. In studio web, whatever the workflows we have created, easily we can share it to the other people. Just we have an option called share option is there, we can do it. But in studio web, in studio desktop application, once we have created the package, we need to publish it. Then we need to push into some git repository or somewhere. That new package file we need to share it to the other versioning systems, or from one platform to other platform and all. But in studio web, we can easily share the workflows. One more, as I mentioned earlier, one more advantage of studio web is like we can create direct configurations on the events. Event based automation we can easily create it here. In studio desktop, after deployment only we can create the triggers, whether it is a queue based trigger, API based trigger, or some event based schedule based. After package everything is completed, after publishing, then only we can create the triggers. In studio web, all the dependencies everything will be in auto managed. We can just drag and drop the activities, so automatically all the required packages everything will come auto populate, no need to install any packages. But in studio desktop application we need to install dependencies. Let's say if we are using excel activities or anything, we need to install uipath.excel activities. If you are interacting with any particular ui, we need to install the UiPath.ui automation. Like this, in Studio Desktop, we need to install all the dependencies. But in Studio Web, automatically all the dependencies will be managed. I will show you those things. In Studio Web, local file system or desktop applications can't be automated. But in Studio Desktop application, we can easily read it, any files from our local file system, or you can, even desktop automation also we can do it. Guys, if you have any questions or anything, please ping in the chat window. Hope you know about this UiPath orchestrator and all. So here you can see one option is called studio option is there. You either you can see it here, or you can, if you click on 9 dots here, you can see all the applications available in the UiPath cloud orchestrator. So here you can see studio web will be accessible from here. We need to click on this, because I already earlier I have launched, so it is showing all those things. If you're launching it first time, it will show it will take couple of minutes to create the account and everything, all the setup everything, it will take couple of minutes. Once you have completed, then it will show two tabs basically. One is automation tab and templates. Under automation, whatever the projects you have created in the studio web, it will show all the projects here, and what are the applications we have installed in the particular project, everything it will show here. And next tab is templates. Here there are different templates are available. UiPath is providing different templates, like table data extraction from Salesforce opportunity. Whenever any email is received, if you want to download the attachment, automatically upload into some Google Drive who have. So by using these templates also we can create our project easily. It's just like some plug and play. Just once you have created this using this template, we need to provide all the integrations, the connections and everything for that to process. Here only few templates are available. We can create our own template also as per our project requirement and all. And also we have an option called generate an autopilot. Just you can specify the template, some text. Uh, once you click on this generate with autopilot, it will create all the template and all. Tomorrow we'll show the demo how can we use the autopilot and all. So for, if you want to create any new project, we have an option called new project is there. So we can create it either with autopilot or I have showed you some templates, right? By using existing templates, we can create. And also, if you have yeah, any other person created the project, we can use that. If you just click on import project and select that project, I will show you those things also. How can we import the other projects and everything? I'm just clicking on the new project. Once you have created the project, it will ask how you want to trigger the process, whether you want to trigger it manual or any schedule based or any event based. Event based is nothing but whenever any new email is received, if you want to trigger the bot, whenever any file is uploaded into the share drive or one point, trigger the bot. There are so many options are available event based. We can select either of the option as per our requirement. So here I'm as of now for this current project I'm just choosing the option like manual automation only. So once you have created, you can see manual trigger is there. Later if you want, you can convert this manual trigger also to the event based. Just click on three dots at the end. You can click on change trigger. Let's say I want to convert it into the email based triggering. So you can see there are options are available here. Email received, if you click on this email received, you can see our manual trigger is converting to the email based triggering here. And whatever the Gmail activities, Google Workspace is there, automatically the packages everything will be auto installed. This is one of the best advantage of using Studio Web. You no need to install which package is required for this activity. No need to automatically application will take care those dependencies everything. Tomorrow we'll show you the integration services. Just I'm showing here how this integration services connection is. Here you can see my, you can create, select either of the connection is existing. If you want to create new connection also, you can create it. Just click on three dots. So here we can create the new connection also if required. Yeah, click on add new connection. If you want to use existing connection, we can use this manage connection option. Else if you want to create new connection, just click on add new connection here. So once if I click on this connect button, automatically we are providing access to, we are providing UiPath to access our Gmail account and all. Read, write. See, you can see what are the permissions are required. Read, write, modify, delete data depending on Gmail permissions. All those permissions it will ask. Once you click on this connect, it will be connected. Once the connections are created, it will show under the integration services tab. We can see all the connections here. Once we have connected, next option, let me explain some of the options available in the email received. Here you can see email folder. There are whatever the folders are available in your mailbox folder, automatic all will be populated once the connection is successful. These are the mailbox folders available in my Gmail account. So it was showed all those things. And next one is we can create a filters also. Let's say if you want to read only particular email with particular subject, only you want to look for those emails, we can provide the, there are different options are available: subject, body, sender address, from address, CCBC. So these are the different filter options available in this email receive trigger. As per our requirement, we can use the correct option. And also end condition are, let's say if you're adding multiple conditions, you want to apply end permission in the in between the conditions, or if either of the condition is satisfied, you want to continue. Just it is a toggle one. You can select either of the one, either all end or any. Let's say here I use a subject. Subject contains particular text, so you can see different options are available for each, and subject contains, doesn't contain, equals, starts with, ends with, and all. Now I will show you small demo, like whenever any new email is received, it will read that email body content by using some gen AI activities. What is the, how the bot will do the reply and all, I will show you those things in the now. So now I am choosing the option, like if email subject contains UiPath query, then I need to trigger the bot. No need to mention any double quotes and all. Here just you can give what is the subject you are looking for. So I mentioned UiPath query and then click on save. If you want to add multiple conditions also, you can do it. Just click on add condition. You can select the options. If you want to delete any of the condition, you can delete it. There are some additional properties also. If you required, we can configure those things, else we can skip it. Let me show explain you one by one additional properties also with attachment only. If you are looking for only emails with attachment only, then we can select this option. Once the mail is processed, whether you want to mark as read, you can select the option mark as read, true or false. If you want to include attachments in our email thing, you can select either true or false. See, once you have created this, automatically it will save that variables also. That email, whatever the email we are reading, it is saving into the email variable. These are the properties panel here. For whatever activity we have selected, those properties will be listed down here. And second option is data manager. In the studio we can see, right, variable panel, argument panel. There we can create all the variables, arguments, everything will be listed down. In similar way in studio web also, whatever the variables, arguments, any connections if we are using, everything will list down under data manager tab. So if you want to create any new variable also, we can create it easily here. Just click on this plus, and whatever the variable name you want to keep it, what variable type you want to mention. There are different in how in studio we have different types of variables options are there. Here also we have similar way. Text, number, boolean, true or false, date, time, dictionary, advanced types also. If you can just click on this advanced type, and you can just type for system dot data table. So you can select those things. If you know the proper the naming convention, you can search it there. There are many different types of variable types available here. If you want to provide any default text to the variable, you can pass the default value also. Next one is open run output. Whatever the output we are once we have triggered the bot, it will show the output here. Once I have completed this project, I will run it. We can see the output, how it is going from one by one step and all. Watch panel, if in between while running the bot you want to see what is the currently variable hold the value, just you can specify that variable name and all. We can see that value in between in the debug mode. It's like similar to the studio also. In studio also we have watch panel will be available there. Whichever the variable values you want to see in the debug mode, you can just mention the variable names. I can see similar way in studio web also we can see all those things. And test is nothing but once we click on this, entire project will be in run. If you want to run in the debug mode step by step, you can use the option called test step by step. Publish option is nothing but once you have completed the project, we can publish into the orchestrator, and we can schedule the process for the deployment purpose. This is the publish. I I showed you, right, in UiPath is providing some of the templates. If you want to create your template also, you can choose the entire the design and all the activities and all. Just choose this option called submit as template. So this entire project will be published as a template. So in the later in other projects you can reuse it. And our projects also we can easily share it to some other people. Just click on the share button. You can search with just the email ID of that person. You can easily share these projects to the other people also. Left hand side you can see open project explorer. In earlier studio web, we have just we can create only in single workflow, we need to build all those things. But in the latest studio web they have added one more called multiple workflows also, we can create it. Like in house studio we are creating multiple YAML files, right? Small, everything is a reusable component. Similar way in studio web also we can create one more, each YAML file as per the requirement and all. From one workflow we can invoke the other workflows also. If you want to add any workflow, if you want to add any folder, we can have two options are available. One is for creating the workflow, one is for the adding the folder. So once you click on this plus icon, automatically that other one will come. You can just rename it as per that. Just enter the name and click on yes. So you can see now test.yaml file got created. This is for changing the history, our project history. What are the changes we did, all the history we can see it here. If you want to go back to the project panel, we can just click on this back button, it will go to the project panel. If you want to by default, whenever we create any project, it will give the default name. You can edit the project name later also. So just click on this pen icon and give the project name. Just I'm giving the name as email trigger. You can see project name got changed. So once email is received, I want to read that email body and I want to send it to some Gen AI activity. So here if you want to add any additional activities, just click on this plus icon. So here you can search for which activity you want to use it. So here I'm using some Gen AI activity. I want to read from the first step. I want to read the email body. I want to pass it to the Gen AI activity, and then say whatever the reply I got, I want to reply to that email. So I'm using there are different Gen AI activities are available. Here I'm using content generation. Yeah, automatic. Earlier I have created the connection, so it is showing my connection auto here. If you want to add any new connection also, we can do it similar way. Just click on add new connection. We can use it. Once the connection is successful, here it will show list of model names available in the Gen AI, GPT 35, 40 and all. So here I'm just we can use all these models. And the user prompt for the chart completion, what is the prompt you want to pass it. So here I want to pass the email body from the previous step. So I'm clicking on this. See here you can this is for the previous property steps. Email received, that email subject body and all, you don't need to create any new variable assigning and all. Just all the for the above email properties, everything will be auto populated here. As per that you can select the request required one. So I'm clicking on just email body, I want to pass it here. So just click on this body. So now we have passed the prompt to this Gen AI activity email body. And PIA detection, whether our email contains any sensitive data or anything is there or not. It is asking if it is a PIA data is detected, you want either true or false, you can select either of the one. We have some additional properties also available. What is the maximum number of tokens you want to read from that response, and temperature, frequency, all these are part of this Gen AI activity. I'm not changing any values here. Whatever the top generated text is there, I want to pass it to the reply to that email. So after content generation, I'm using reply to the email. You can see already is there here. If you want, we can search it also same. Reply to email. This is part of Google Workspace here. So just select this one. So for what email we want to give the reply. In the earlier output we have say you can see email received output was saved in the email variable. So the same email I'm passing it here. Email to reply. Automatically it will list down all those things here. This is for content generation second step output, and first one is email received. So just you can select this email. And what is the body you want to give the response. So from the previous step output I want to pass it here. So from content generation we have saved the output in top generated text. So I'm passing the same body variable to here. Whether you want to reply to all the members or only to the specific people. So if you want, so let's say in the email we have some multiple email IDs are there. If you want to reply to all the people, you can select the option as true, else you can select the option as false. Whether you want to save the email as draft or you want to send. So here just I want to save the email. Before sending the email I want to see what is the content bot generated. So I'm selecting as the option as true here. Here we have an additional options also available. If you want to do any attachment, you can pass the attachment here. If you want to change the subject, so we can do it here. If you're keeping it blank means whatever the existing subject is there, it will be continue with the same one. If you want to add any additional things, you can we can add it here. And what is the importance of that email, whether you want to send it any priority, high, low or normal, we can set it as. If you want to add any additional recipients also, we can do it under 2 CC BCC. We can add the additional recipients also. So that's all a simple project here I'm showing. First one is, first it bot will receive the email, read the email with the particular subject contains UiPath query. Then it will send it to the Gen AI activity, that input, and whatever the output we are getting, then we are replying to that email. So only three steps are involved in this process. And also no need to do control save automatically. For every 30 seconds the project will be auto saved. You can see last saved was 6750. Every 30 seconds bot will automatically will save the project, our project. Now let me send one email to it. Will here you can see, right, it is looking for the email from G Lakshman 94. This is the email box. It will look under inbox folder. So I'm sending one email to my mailbox. So bot won't look for all the emails under the inbox. It will look for only specific subject contains UiPath query. I'm just giving an express. Please help me with UiPath link query to read top 20 records from the. So I'm just writing like, please help me with UiPath link query to read top 20 records or rows from an Excel file. Just I'm sending this query to. I'm clicking on send. I have received the email. Now let me run the bot. It will reply to that email. So if you want to do step by step, you can do it those things. Even if you want to add any debug breakpoint also, we can add the breakpoints also here. I'm simply running the project. On the right hand side, you can see output panel. This is the one in the output panel. We can see building the project. Here you can see which activity currently it is running. It is showing those things. Once the activity run is completed, it will show ran successfully or failed. See, project got completed successfully. Let me go to the my mailbox. Let me refresh it. See, you can see draft. It replied to that email also. Here I gave the input as please help me with UiPath link query to read the top 20 records or rows from the Excel file. This is the Jane activity gave the response to us. Hello Lakshman, to read the top 20 records from the Excel using, you can follow the below steps. First use the read range activity to read the Excel file data into the data table. It mentioned all the steps. What is the first we need to read the Excel file. Second we need to use the data table select query to read the top 20 rows. See, this is the expression. Data table dot as enumerable take of 20 means first 20 rows from the original data table. It will take top 20 rows. Take of 20. Let me try one more example. So bot won't look for all the emails. Only it will look for the UiPath query, and you can add any other thing, other text. Um, I'm giving some text like I'm planning to do a session on UiPath Studio Web. Please help me with latest topics. So here as I'm giving the query like I'm planning to do a session on UiPath Studio Web. Please help me with latest topics. So I'm just sending it. Again I'm re-triggering the bot. Project started running. It ran successfully. Let me go to my mailbox. Refresh it. You can see for second email also it replied. Hello Lakshman, that is great to hear that you are planning a session on Studio Web. Here are some of the latest topics you might consider. Introduction to Studio Web, setting up Studio Web, creating and managing automate. What are the latest topics are there? It is given the some point wise. So this way you no need to do any setup, anything install in our local system. Everything we can do it in the cloud. It's like event based trigger. Whenever any new email is received, bot will trigger the process. It will read the email content. Then we are passing it to the some Gen AI activity, and whatever the response is the coming, we can reply to that email. This is one of the example. We can create n number of projects using here. There are so many integration services are available. You can see these connections. Active Directory, Act 365, Amazon plugins also we have integration services, Azure, Bamboo HR. there are so many integration connections are available. Recently UiPath is coming up. Let's say you want to create some of the application, as you want to create some API things and all, but it's not available. By using this connection builder, they are providing one option. By using that, we can create our own connections also, and we can use it in our projects. And also whatever the project we have created, let's say this, we have created the email trigger, right? Here you can see what are the applications we have used in this process. We have used the Gmail and content gen AI activities we have used. So it will no need to go into inside the project. You can see it from starting only what are the applications are involved in the project. So currently we just saved the project, we didn't publish, so it is showing in the draft. If you want to see what is there inside the automation, just click on this see automation details. It will take you into this one. Who is the owner for this particular project, what are the connections we have used. Here you can see in this project we have used two connections, one is gen AI and Gmail, so it is showing what connection we have used. And project details also. Draft means just we have created the project, we didn't publish anything, so it is showing in the draft version. When is the last modification is happened, when we have created everything, it we can see it here, all the project details. If you want to do any editing the project, we can edit this one. You can share it to, if you want to share it to some other people, just click on the share button. We can share it to the other people also, the project. See, you can see option like project settings and change history, duplicate. If you want to duplicate the particular project, we can do that one. Just click on this duplicate option. If you want to open this project in the studio desktop applications, we can do that one. We have an option called open in studio desktop, so simply click on this. So it is asking like check details on studio project file for the compatibility. If studio desktop application is not installed in your system, then you need to download the application first, then only you can open the project. In my system already studio desktop application is installed, so I'm clicking on open in studio desktop. So it is automatically installing all the required dependencies and all whatever the project we have created in studio web. Now we are opening in the studio desktop application. It will automatically install all the required dependencies as per the project. So now it's opening the project. You can see all the connections are loading now. Email based triggering, so Gmail we have used, right? So it is connecting to that connection now. Gen AI activity, what connection we have used. So in this way we can easily whatever the projects we have created in studio web, we can open both the things in the studio desktop application, and studio X also we can open it. Let's see what are the dependencies installed. Here you can see in the project dependencies there are four depend activity packages are installed. One is system activities, one is web API, and Google Workspace, this is for Gmail thing. And integration services, we have used some Gen AI activities, right? For that we need this integration services activity. So all the dependencies it automatically installed. Let's see what is there in the project panel. You can see in project panel, one is the dependency. You can see it is a cross platform. Whatever the projects we have created in studio web application, it is a cross platform. We can run it in the multiple OSs. In Windows, Linux, we can run this process. And we have created two YAML files, right? One is main.yaml file and test.yaml file. So it is showed both the things. And these snippets are from studio only, it is showing here. So in this way, whatever we can open the project from whatever the projects we have created in Studio Web, we can open in Studio Desktop application also. If we can if you want, we can download the project also. Let's say if you're clicking on download icon, see the project extension will be .uip. In Studio Web, what YAML files will be in XAML format, right? Studio Web project extension will be UIP. So it is asking for which project and all. UIP. Even we can export the other projects also. Let's say I have created some project. Here we have downloaded, right? Same project we can import it from here also. Let's say I want to create any new project. You have an options. Three options are available: generate with autopilot, new from template, and import a project. If we'll click on this import project, here we can select the .uip files here. So I'm selecting the either of the project. We can select it here. Email trigger. Clicking on open. See project email trigger one imported successfully. Earlier we have already project is their email trigger, so it was created with the email trigger one for the project. So in this way we can easily import, let's say other person created projects also, we can easily import it here. And if you want to provide any manage access to particular users to Studio Web, we can still just click on this three dot at the top right corner, click on manage access. Here these are the users groups are available default. If you want, we can create some new role also to let's say if you want to give permission to the different user, you can enter their email id. And Studio Web, if you want to provide Studio Web administrator, you can see what are the things it is. For administrator, they can manage the roles, Studio Web access, organizing templates. For each role they mention what are the responsibilities for each role, you can see. So in this way we can easily create any projects, we can publish it. So these will be event based triggers. We have we have courses for Studio Web. We have courses are available in the UiPath Academy. You can go through those courses also.
I'll show you that, Lakshman. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Um, so I think it was really helpful, and then it was very insightful. You saw how very quickly you could have generated a complete workflow, which can reply automatically. So after that, I mean, if you have to know more about what UiPath is having, I mean, all the products you have, UiPath have, you can go to UiPath Academy. You can just open UiPath Academy. Shall I share my screen, Lakshman? Is it okay?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so you can go to courses, and then you can try. You can search the course you want to. You can search for UiPath Studio Web now, and then it will show you a 3 hours course, which will explain you end to end what is Studio Web, how do you create a use case. You can see different tools from UiPath, and then these are completely free. Yeah, and a certificate also will be generated at the end once you complete, and it will not be very hard interface. It will be a very easy interface to learn. That's about the academy. And then next step, so once you go through these courses, and if you have any questions regarding these any of these courses, you can always ping in UiPath forum. Lakshman, you can open forum.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just click on new topic and then you can ask your question. So there are like hundreds of people who are waiting for to answer your questions. So you can, you'll not be alone there. I would suggest first you search your topic. So there might be someone who might have already asked the same question. So search for your question. If it is not answered, then you can click on new topic and then you can post your question. Additionally, you can connect with us on LinkedIn and then you can always ask your questions in LinkedIn. I think that's it from my side. Any points from you, Patridu or Lakshman?
Yeah, we can open for Q&A session now.
Yeah. So we had few questions. I've already answered them. So firstly, we got a question regarding the licensing part. So Studio Web will be free for you. There will be no there are like there is no additional cost for you. But to run, maybe you might have to get serverless robots for
Yeah,
cloud.
we require cloud robots to
Yeah.
run this Studio Web projects and all. And if we have developer license, same developer license, we can use it for Studio Web also. There is no need of additional
Yeah.
account and all license things.
Yeah. And next question was so just for the audience, I mean, just for their knowledge, I'm just repeating the same questions. I've already answered them in the chat. So the next question was in real-time projects when working on your path, do we use Studio Web or Studio Desktop? So I've answered Rohit that. So if it completely depends on your use case. So if you have very complex automation, it's not recommended to use your Path Studio Web because you might have to invoke multiple workflows in main XAML, and so it's not recommended. You can directly use your Path Studio if your automation is complex, and then if you have file management in your automation, so it's always recommended to use Studio your Path Desktop. And if your use case is simple, it's like if you have an email and then that should start a trigger that will do some quick checks in web and then reply back. So all these kind of use cases can be done using Studio Web.
Pathrudu, can you enable access to all the users so that they can
Sure,
ask any questions if they?
sure. I'm just doing it. And I think I'll just make you moderators. So you also can start doing that. Okay? You and Mudhu also can do that.
Okay.
Just try it out and just make them presenters.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I think they can unmute and then they can ask if anyone have
Yeah,
any
we have
questions.
an enabled option. If you have any queries or anything, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the questions.
I think we enabled everyone. So, guys, if you have any questions, you can ask out to our Lakshman and Mudhu. No one is having any questions?
Yeah.
Yes, Vishwash.
Yeah. Can you please explain, like, is there any difference for attended and unattended bots in this studio? Or like, if we want to deploy it for any virtual machine, so
Mhm.
how it will be?
See, rather than we can call it as like attended or unattended, right? Like more kind of a human assistance is required for some use case, right? Can we
Yes.
define in that way? In that case, right, like studio web will facilitate you in terms of like getting you into the human in loop, like action center and all. And even the attended and unattended will be defined based on the process initiation, like how the process is getting executed, right? Like either it is by a proper trigger, time based or queue based or something, without human intervention, and when the human starts it. In the studio web also, you have a process based on the manual trigger. So the manual trigger actually mentioned that like it's an attended process. In case if you want to have a human in loop, then you have an options in the UiPath Studio Web as well in order to have that as well. So the option of like the human robot collaboration or the attended automation or unattended automation, that can be achieved similar to what we actually experienced in RPA in the studio web as well. But the studio web also gives an additional capability of event based triggers, where based on some whatever the email is received or the file is placed or file is modified, so based on that, like it provides an additional capabilities along with our existing capabilities. So
Got it.
did you got the answer for your question, or you are
Yeah, yeah,
expecting more?
got it.
Yeah. Additionally, just to add
Yeah.
on, so you don't have to configure your virtual machines. So there is this thing called automation cloud robots, like serverless. So these Studio Web process will automatically run in those robots.
Yeah. So just adding on what Muddu said, right? Like it's kind of an additional capability what we can see, or like reduce our effort in terms of infrastructural management. It doesn't require for you to configure a VM and configure your robot and all these things. It can be automatically done in the cloud VM robots itself. It's kind of a just in time uh, run environment.
Yeah.
I mean, it saves us, like, instead of creating virtual machines and through hypervisor, those things will
Not
be
Exactly.
at all required.
reduced. Yeah,
Yeah.
Unless you are using a desktop applications, you need those machines. If you are not using desktop applications and your automation is completely a browser based, then it doesn't require. Simple.
got it.
Yeah. Anyone else, guys?
So one question I have
Yeah, please.
related to integration services. Like actually, I was joined a bit late, so probably in integration services, I see GitHub also, right? So how it would be like advantageous, like if we are integrating, right? So can it be automated, like those things whenever we do any actions on GitHub, right? It is automated.
If you don't mind, Imran, there is a problem from your voice. Like we could not able to hear it properly in high volume.
Okay.
In case if there is a disturbance, right, like you can drop a message in the chat also.
So am I audible now, Patul? Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was just asking on the integration services part.
Mhm.
So we have a GitHub, right, in the integration
Yeah.
services.
Yeah.
So, so how that would be like? Can that be automated? Like whenever there is any action been done on any of the repositories or anything, like we can do
Yes.
some actions, right? Like
Yes. Yes. You can connect. We have GitHub connector. You can connect UiPath Studio Web with GitHub
Yeah,
connector.
Mudde, I'm sharing my screen. I will show you that GitHub connection also.
Yes.
sure, sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So this is the GitHub connection. There are different type of activities are available here. Issue closed, repository created. So based on this particular events, we can create the automations.
Okay, okay. Okay, so great. So we can do it from the web automation, right? We can
Yeah.
have these triggers and then we can use it. Okay.
Yes, correct. Just
Yes.
you need to do, you have a GitHub account, you can click on this connect to GitHub. Once it is created, you can use either events or activities as per your requirement. You can do all those things.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah.
All these are API based one.
Okay. So initially, when we connect, we don't have to do anything. We can manage it through this only, right? Through these triggers only.
Yes.
Once
So
we
you take
connect
like
for the first time, yeah.
mhm. So you connect to GitHub with integration services, and then these events, if these events you see, so these will be triggers. So if an issue closed, I mean, if you use issue closed as a event, when issue closed, then this automation will start. And then below are the activities which you can perform. So when issue closed, if you want to search repositories and download a file, so these are the activities you have to use. So
Okay.
it will be like that.
I think, guys, in terms of integration services, right? Like, I think we can talk tomorrow as well, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
because we have a one more session specifically on talking to integration services and Studio Web integrations, right? So I just posted that link in the chat. So just please do the register for that, and we will explore more on the integration services and how actually it works with the Studio Web combination.
Sure, sure, Patruda. I will register for that. Thank you.
Yeah. I think like that actually gives a very additional value. See, I personally felt even like the Studio Web is not available to the public, right? At that time, I was in a private review and I experienced it, and it is awesome. So we will see that like tomorrow as well, in terms of like how it actually goes between the Studio Web and integration web services combination, how we can do the better automations.
Okay.
yeah. Meanwhile, you can also go to cloud.earpath.com. So you can, there is a free community edition. You can see Studio Web, and then you can try out the templates, and then there is this autopilot feature as well. You can try to generate flows automatically. So you can try all those. Yeah.
So will this come with the community edition?
Yes,
Yes.
it is available in the community edition, Imran.
So it would be going for a trial only till some time, right? Will it be paid later on?
No, like for the AI products, they actually maintain the trial versions of it, but in community, you'll get the integration services, you'll get the Studio app, and all these things. It's not a problem.
Okay. Okay.
So, anyone have any other questions, guys? I
Guys, if
think
you
this.
don't have any questions, so you can whatever Muthu Pathrudu mentioned, right? You can create an account in Community Cloud. You can try for Studio Web and all. If you have any questions on anything, tomorrow you can get back to us.
Yeah.
Okay. And if no one have any questions, still we have I think 20 minutes more time available for with us. So I want to do a podcast with Mudhu and Lakshman.
Yeah.
So I have a question, guys. So why do we need to use Studio Web when we have a studio and we have a Studio X? And I don't want a Studio Web, right? Like specifically,
Hmm.
because when I want to execute some process in Studio Web,
Hmm.
it actually goes with the cloud robots.
Yeah.
Even the cloud robots also consumes some cost,
Yeah.
in terms of licensing.
Yes.
So why do I need to go with Studio Web when I have a studio?
So let's say you have an automation which is like very simple one.
Hmm.
Let's say you have to so whenever there is a new file placed in a SharePoint, you just have to move that file to some other folder.
Okay.
So in this case, if you have, I mean, if you want to do with UiPath Studio, I mean, desktop one, you'll be have to pay a license for UiPath Studio, and then you have to pay some license amount for virtual machine, where you have to host it. So all these will be avoided. So you just need to take UiPath Studio Web, which will be free with developer license, and then with some charge with cloud robots, you can directly start your workflow. I mean, it will be, and moreover, you don't have to maintain any infra, so that cost will also be saved. So I
So
would
you
say,
mean to say that as soon as something is getting triggered based on some event of placing a
mhm,
file in the SharePoint, and this process will be triggered in a cloud robot, and just the execution time will be costed.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Also, it's not just limited. I mean, as when I say simple, it doesn't mean it will do only simple tasks. It
Okay.
can be done. I mean, very complex tasks also will be done in very simple way. By simple, I mean you can use the Studio Web very simply. So if
Okay.
you see Lakshman's use case, it is already like it is already using a Gen AI activity, then it is
Okay.
generating content by itself. So
Okay.
yeah,
So in that case, right, like it's not necessary for me to have a VM installed and restarted, or some infra people to be work on it,
yeah,
and all these things are not required for me.
yes, exactly.
Okay. Perfect. I think this looks to be something even I didn't explore it properly. So I think even I need to do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
guys.
here everything will be maintained by UiPath, right? From
Mhm.
our side, there is no need to install any updates on that particular virtual machine. If you go for any browser automation, we need to do the installation, extension installation, everything we need to do. Whereas for UiPath Cloud, everything will be managed by UiPath only.
Okay. Cool. I think yeah. So guys, do you have any other questions to ask, like whatever I asked, right? Similar to that. If you have, we will ask the questions to both Mudhu Krishna and Lakshman, or else we will wind up the session. And
Pathru will take one group pick here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So just I'm waiting for someone if they ask any question or something. If no, then please turn on your cameras. So we wanna take a picture, like how we are. Okay, cool. Guys, please turn on your cameras so that like we'll just take a group picture of us. Varun, Vishwas, Bhuvaneshwaran, Srinivas Thakur.
Uh,
Cool.
hello,
Yeah,
hello, Krishna.
yeah,
I have one question. Is there
Please.
any sessions to learn UiPath Studio Desktop?
yeah.
See,
Yeah. Go ahead, Pathudu.
good question. Yeah, please go ahead, Modhu.
Okay, so you have a lot of courses in UiPath Academy. So if you go to UiPath Academy, you can from the scratch you can be from beginner you can become advanced just by UiPath Academy. So you don't need any other sessions.
Okay, and
But
I mean to
now,
say, uh,
yeah, please go ahead,
like
Amol.
like this, we are you are continuing this session now.
Yeah.
Like this, there are same other sessions for
Okay.
your desktop.
Yeah. Yeah. There are.
So yeah, we have a lot of sessions going on across the globe. See, UiPath community is not restricted to one region. It's a global community, and you will see a lot of sessions on UiPath desktop, or UiPath different features or latest features or whatever it is. But even you can follow some YouTube channels as well. Like if you wanna learn the basics, right? Like the Rakesh channel is there, and my channel is there, which is called Skill RPA. And if you wanna learn AI and Action Center, right? Mudhu's channel is there. Mudhu Krishna Pet. Channel name is correct, right, Mudhu?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so his channel is there, so you can explore all these channels of YouTube, like where we are delivering the sessions in terms of like you to guide you in step by step. So there is nothing that like we are hiding any topic, like we are just going on step by step concepts of it. In case
Okay.
if you want to you are keen about like just only to learn about UI desktop, right? Studio, then you can just follow any of the UiPath playlist. Like we have a lot of people, not only whatever the names I mentioned. You have uh, Mukesh Kala. You have a lot of people like who is actually teaching all
I am
these.
following Mukesh Kala.
Yeah, so you have a lot of people like who is actually teaching all these things, right? Even
Yeah.
that actually will kick you start with the UiPath, and the rest, whatever you're doing, right? It's all about your thought process and your consistency, or like your interest to
And
go for it. Yeah.
as he mentioned, so if you have any questions in between, you can always use your path forum. So you can just
Yes.
post a question there. There
A
will be
lot
a
of
lot of
questions are
people
there on
who are
UiPath.
keen to answer your question.
Yeah.
Yeah. let's take a picture. Yeah, I
Yep.
see only
I
few
think
faces.
many people didn't even enable their cameras. Yeah. Imran, you
They're
asked a
feeling
question,
shy.
man. We answered, but you didn't even turning your camera. Imran, are you turning on your camera or not? It doesn't, man. It doesn't matter, man. Like even if you are in market, also that can be done.
That's how UiPath sessions will be like.
Yes,
You can
we
attend from
doesn't even
anywhere.
know want to have a professional, right? Like we want to
Yeah,
be an unprofessional event because it's a community event.
yeah.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Yes, perfect. And Vishnu, do you want to ask something? You unmuted?
Yes, yes, I want to ask something.
Yeah, please.
Is this studio web is introduced now or it is there from when like go back? Hello.
It's there.
Not clear about your question. Maybe.
So
No, he's
he's
asking
asking.
about when Studio Web is launched.
Oh, yeah, it's launched
It's long back.
almost a long back, man. I think I remembered my first UiPath community in-person event in Hyderabad. I did a event in on UiPath document understanding plus Studio Web. That is almost 2.5 years back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also it is available for all the students or only for professionals.
Now it is available for everyone who signed up for the UiPath community.
Yeah,
Simple.
just you need a cloud account. That's it.
That's it. UiPath
Okay.
community account if you have, so you'll get the access to UiPath Studio Web.
I've
Okay.
posted the
So it
link
is
in the chat. You can access that. Yeah.
now just we have to sign up. That's it, right?
Yes, that's all. You
Yes.
You
can use
just
your
sign
Gmail
it up.
account.
That's it.
It will be done. Yeah.
Okay. And also, sir, can I ask me some personal question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, actually, I'm a fresher. I learned UiPath from Hyper Automation, a free course, and also learned in YouTube Mukesh Rala, and in some other YouTube channels. I'm I'm trying from past 6 months to 8 months. I'm not getting any offers for fresher. Can you give any like a, any
So
helpful?
it's very sad, Vishnu. Like when you invested your efforts, also, right? Like it depends on that, like how the market is going on as well, right? Like it's a bit hard to get vacancies for the freshers in UiPath. Even I do say the same thing for everyone. Okay, but
Okay,
if you try, right, like you may get a chance to get into something, but you can keep trying on this. Like
Yeah.
it's not like people will not hire the freshers, uh, but in the RPA domain, right, like the people hiring the freshers is very least. But
Yeah.
I can help you out with that. Like just ping me on LinkedIn somewhere. So in case if
okay,
there is some vacancy and if you could able to crack it, see, it all depends
okay,
on your efforts. It's not on us,
okay.
right? So
Uh,
as soon as we get something, if someone is hiring some freshers, see, even it's not
yes,
necessary to be me. Even in UiPath forum also, we have a job board
Yeah.
where we'll just people will be posting on what vacancies they have, and we have some groups as well in WhatsApp and Telegram in the name of UiPath, right? So there you will get some notifications of what actually the people are hiring. So in case if you see that, in case if there is something that like intern or fresher, right, you just apply for
yes,
it. But I don't feel that like it. See, even I'm very sad to say that like it's bit get too hard calls for the freshers in the RPA
Yeah.
domain.
So
It's not only
I
UI,
okay,
any RPA.
I would
okay.
suggest you
So
go through end to end. I mean, complete UiPath academic courses, and then more of just don't keep watching videos. It will not help you. So unless you practice, like develop some use cases, post those use cases in GitHub or something, and then post that LinkedIn, post that link in LinkedIn, and then add these links or add these GitHub projects in your resume, and that will increase your weightage. I mean, resume weightage. And then even if you didn't get a full-time job, try for internship. Internships are always better for freshers, so try for internships. Do internship for 3 or 6 months, and then I'm sure like you will, maybe if you're very skillful, that company itself may hire you. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
my
think I
suggestion.
agree with the point of like what Muddu is saying, right? So I just want to say a very single line, right? Like my first automation, what I have done is when the Big Boss Telugu started in 2017. I did my first automation for voting for Shiv Balaji to get him in. That is my first automation, guys.
You can know the reason
The
why he
time
won.
I started learning UiPath, I did the automation of voting one guy in Big Boss. Simple.
Okay.
And my second automation is booking my bus ticket.
Uh,
See, whatever we are doing it manually in our personal life, if we could able to automate that, right? And you are capable of automating anything.
Yeah.
Simple.
okay. And also, uh, with you, what is the big addition like SQL, Python, or anything?
So I
See,
would say start
all
with
whatever
UiPath
you're talking,
Studio.
right? Those
Uh,
are add-ons.
yeah,
Yes.
Okay, those
continue. I
are
mean,
It is
add-ons.
not mandatory.
it's not mandatory. So if you want to completely go with UiPath, learn VB.NET. VB expressions will be useful, and then learn LinkU. If you follow Lakshman, so he have a very good series. I mean, you can follow his posts. He explained completely about LinkU.
And on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Yes,
on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then basic coding, like what is if loop, if condition, what is for loop. That would be
Yeah.
enough. I mean,
Okay.
do one
Like
thing. Search for roadmap for RPA UiPath. You will get a clear step-by-step tools you need to learn. Yeah.
okay. Thanks. And also, can I know the reason behind this? Like, freshers are not getting any call from in your mail, like a
Even
main
I
reason.
don't know, man. If I know that, right, I'll tell you. If you get to know that, you tell me. Simple.
There are very less opportunities for freshers compared to like any.
It's not just for RPA. It's this question will be like a chicken and egg. Like they'll say you want experience to hire. I mean you need experience to get a job, and then when they'll not give you a job,
But
how will you get experience?
I'll give my example, man. So I was not from IT background, okay, guys. I was from completely from a non-IT, okay. So at that time, everyone used to ask me for the experience. That's how the world is, right? They want experienced guys, but at the same time, they want to give chance to a freshers. But how they are going to get an experience after a couple of years? I was into the shipbuilding industry at the time. They didn't give an opportunity for me to join as a fresher, and now they are looking for a people with 5 years experience. No one is available. That's how the industry works. So we cannot take, we cannot say anything on it. Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I think we are running out of the time. So if
For
everyone
one
can
question,
turn on their videos, like we'll just take a snapshot. I think we'll drop out the also by listening to our stories.
I think Imran had a question.
Imran has one question, I guess.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
one information I need. Like I was looking to look for the certification for advanced, right? Professional certification. Could you help me out? Like, what are the resources we can go through once before?
I'll
To
share you a link.
Imran, I strongly believe in terms of UiPath certifications, right?
Mhm.
Um, one thing is you need to have a hands-on. Based on my expertise, like when I gave the exams, right? Like, see, in terms of you say UiPath advanced certification revamped one, I didn't attend it for it, so I cannot talk anything on it. Like I
Okay.
spoke to a couple of people, what questions they got and all these things. I collected the information, but what I feel, I gave the test automation and I gave the associate specialized associate AI. But the problem is like at least 30% questions are like based on your practical exposure. Okay.
Okay.
And the other thing is you can go through the UiPath academy courses even planned specifically for the
Yeah,
certification.
I've posted the link for
Yeah.
advanced professional
So
brand
that
ambassador.
actually
Thank you.
will give you a very high advantage in terms of going through that.
Yeah. One recommendation. So at the end, you will get an exam in that learning plan. Try to get 100% in that exam, and then you will definitely pass in main exam. Yeah.
Yeah, this certification would add value in my career, right? Like
Yes.
going forward. Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, it is going to.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Whatever
part.
Muthu shared there, you can see all the documentation, everything is there. Just go through that course. It is available in the UiPath Academy. There, all the course for certification related course, everything is available there. Just go through on those things.
Okay, cool. And actually, do you want to say something like turn on your video for a long time? And do you want to say your experience?
He'll
Can
turn it off
you can
now.
unmute?
Yeah, no, no. I was just waiting. You guys wanted to take a snapshot, so that's why.
Okay. I thought like
Yeah,
you say something.
regarding my, I recently got, as in I've been working in Blue Prism from past 8 years, and now I got this project in UiPath. That's how I'm interested in UiPath and got to attend this session, and it was really helpful. And looking forward to attend more sessions.
Cool. And we'll keep on doing this. And hope you will be joining soon every time.
Yeah.
Okay. And Vishwa, you raise your hand.
Yeah, Patrudu. Like, I have one question. Like, everywhere, wherever you see the job description, right? Like, everyone, they will mention the CI/CD pipelines. Okay. So, suppose if I'm not, I'm not started any development or not involved in any development project. So, how can I tackle that in interview? Like, is there any particular videos or something I need to refer? Can you please help on that?
For CICD, right, I suggest like you can go through Satish Prasad's video or Rahul Unikrishnan videos, because those two guys are like strong in terms of CICD, and in YouTube you can just follow them in terms of CICD, and they delivered very good. And also I think Deepak Rai as well.
And also in UiPath forum, also some people posted it regarding those things. You can see step by step there.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
And these guys actually delivered a very good videos. Even I saw the videos of CI/CD. And even if you want to run your robots on Kubernetes or Docker container, right, Rahul Unikrishnan actually delivered a very good value in YouTube. So you can just follow these guys, and they actually, the videos are too good.
Yeah, could you repeat Rahul and who else?
Rahul Unikrishnan and Satish Prasad.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Rahul's channel name is Autobot with Rahul.
Okay.
Okay, I think we are just going in terms of decreasing of the people. Maybe people are not interested, and other people doesn't even want to turn on their cameras. I think, guys, if you want to turn on, please do that. We want to take a snapshot. Simple. Imran, I'm expecting you to turn on, man. Perfect. Lakshman, are you taking the screenshot?
Yes, yes. I captured the people.
Perfect. And thanks, guys. And we'll meet tomorrow again, and we can discuss more. And we will deep dive more into the integration services and how the event-based triggers happens and all. And do you have anything, Lakshman, Madhu, to closing?
Yeah. So I would say, yeah, you pretty much told everything, how you can access the academy and then forum and everything. You can, if you, in the meantime, you can just go through these academies courses, and if you have any questions, you can ask tomorrow. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.